Welcome to another episode of Whiskey Sour, Libations and Conversations. I'm drunk, and we have a special guest with us
You're drunk?
today. And you guys might remember her from the episode. I am drunk, not drunk, tipsy, and I can't think of the name of our episode. But Chef Io Cherry, everybody. And I am tired of her calling me old. I am not old. I am aging like fine wine. I take my supplements.
You're the
I'm not
oldest.
the oldest. Farron is the oldest out of all of us.
Okay, so I said that you're the oldest you've ever been. Why you so quick to throw my bitch under the bus?
I wasn't throwing nobody under the bus. You was already coming with the insults, and I had to protect myself.
I was just gonna say you're the oldest you've ever been, Rudy. Let me move my chair.
And so are you.
Yeah, I know. Which is still younger than you.
How are you?
I'm having a lovely day.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
No, I was off today. I got to do my house things today, which is like my comfort zone. You know, I got to wipe down my kids. Had a nice day.
Her kids are her plants, guys. I just want to make sure we're clear. She's a plant mom, and
all 38 of them.
38 plants?
Yeah, it's a lot. It might.
How big is your place?
Like 1,100 square feet. Not big.
You say that like that's not the size of somebody's house out here, because you know LA in these small cottages.
Facts. Well, I have a patio too, so that's why there's so many.
I have a patio too, and it doesn't get enough sun because I feel like sometimes I need to put my plant out there to get a little more sun.
Don't do that. You shouldn't do that. No, I don't. I try not to change their environment that drastically because it could shock them. They don't really like being moved like that.
Okay, so what am I gonna do with Penny? Like Penny needs more sun.
Is Penny that Monstera?
Yeah.
I tell you to get Penny a grow light.
Okay.
And a humidifier.
Okay, I have a humidifier and I have I just need to get the light then. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I got everything else that you told me to get.
Okay. My Monstera is literally right above the humidifier, and it is so happy. I'm fighting the urge to go get it and put it in the frame. So I'm looking at it. Oh, she's so gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay. Penny, we're gonna get you a grow light, and I'm gonna get you your own personal humidifier.
Yeah.
I love you. Penny's named after my. First of all, they say you should name your plants. You're supposed to talk to your plants. You're supposed to love on them and kind of not pet them, but pet them.
Yeah, depending on what it is, some of them you shake because you want to mimic like the wind blowing on them and it keeps a bunch of dust and shit. So like if you have a fiddly fig, they like to be shaken, shaken, not stirred, shaken.
Okay. I don't have a fiddly fig. I heard that those are a little more difficult to take care of, but I am interested in getting a snake plant because those are low maintenance too.
Yeah,
see, my husband is a high maintenance bitch like me, okay? I'm very high maintenance and I require a lot of attention, and it's kind of hard trying to balance my maintenance and their maintenance, but I'm trying to do better because I want to be an actual mom one day. So I got to figure this out.
Yeah, 6 of my plants are snake plants. They're great.
Okay.
They get water like maybe once a month, if that. Like I forget it's the summer, so probably once every 2 weeks now, because in the hotter months they need a little bit more, but they don't need much. I wipe their leaves so infrequently, much less than my other kids.
Okay. All right, well, good to know. I bring you here today because
we'll talk about plants.
I mean, we talked about plants, but I wanted to learn about your journey into becoming a chef, a celebrity chef, because you're not just a chef, you are a Michelin star chef.
No. I don't have a Michelin star at all.
Oh, well, see, look at me speaking favor over your life. Let me be great.
No, you have to work in a restaurant to get a Michelin star, and I'm never going back to a restaurant. I mean, never say never, but I don't intend to go back to restaurant.
Maybe that Michelin star could have been your restaurant that you own, that you don't work in, and people work for you.
Yeah, I still wouldn't want that, girl. They're
Really?
hellish. Yeah, no, the overhead is insane. I have a lot of like concept ideas, but like who doesn't? You know what I mean? But I just
Hmm.
don't. I'm not passionate enough about having a restaurant to do the amount of work that I know it takes because I've worked at startups and it's
Hmm.
insane. Like I was just management for the catering side, and I literally was. There were days where I would easily work 18-hour days because that's
Hmm.
just you just got to get it done if somebody has to do it. And unfortunately, at that point, I was still young enough to feel like it was me. Yeah.
Why like this? Well, that's good to know because a lot of times we think that when people say they want to be a chef, their aspirations and goals are to own their own restaurant one day. Whereas now we're on the flip side where you're like, that doesn't serve me, that doesn't make me whole. So
Yeah.
I work independently. Can you talk about that journey, how you got to that point? Because you're also not from LA. You're from
LA.
this place that we like to call
You better.
United States of Florida because Florida does their own things.
First of all, be respectful. Okay. We are. Second of
Ken
all,
Fury,
I,
Kira Fury is from Miami, USA. So I'm just going based off of the headlines and the people that I know and love from Florida. And
mhm.
yeah. So continue. You have the
we
floor.
we are a complex culture, yes, and there are definitely times where we are all real like that ain't my part of Florida about it. I'm from Tallahassee, which is the capital, as most people pretend not to know, but it is. And like Tallahassee is so different from Miami and different from Orlando. Like once you get to like central to South Florida, you get more in like the islandy vibe. And it's just a different thing where it's like where I'm from is on the Florida Georgia line. So I'm from like the country part, as I'm sure your viewers heard when I said Tallahassee.
Yeah, sidebar, you'd be surprised how many people don't know that Tallahassee is actually the capital because a lot of people don't know. Like people
You know
think
what?
that's
I mean,
and
fifth grade is hard. Fifth grade is hard. States and capitals. I get it, you know.
yeah, a lot of people think that St. Louis is in Louisiana.
I thought St. Louis was. Oh no, no. I thought Kansas City was in Kansas. So
No, because it is. There is a Kansas City, Kansas. There's a bridge that separates them in a state line. So there's a
huh.
Kansas City, Missouri, and then there's a Kansas City, Kansas. It's a bridge that is the state line, like in some land. So that
Yeah,
is true.
I don't know. I don't really have time for all that. We have like the East Coast and there's the West Coast, all that stuff in the middle. Like,
So what you're not gonna do is skip over the
I
Midwest.
know y'all are very into what is it, Saint Louis?
That's what we're doing. That's
Listen. I adore people from St. Louis, you being one of them. I just don't know anything about the middle, anything, the Midwest, the Mid East, the Mid North, the Mid South.
the
I don't know
mid.
anything about this.
So St. Louis is the gateway to the West. The Lewis and Clark expedition
Oh no.
started.
Oh God. Okay. Let me pause you, friend. History, not my favorite subject. So can we plants? I'll go back to talking about plants.
No,
I don't want
let's
to
talk
learn.
about your. Let's talk about your 6 DUIs and suspended licenses.
Girl, I'm gonna pick DUI. I'm from Florida, so I've definitely had a suspended license, but I've never had a DUI. I have had an HTO though, which is
What
very
the
close to
fuck is that?
habitual traffic offender.
Ah, yo,
Yes.
what?
Don't say my. Oh, you can say my name like my mama. Jesus.
What are you doing on the road? What? What?
Um,
What?
while I do not claim to be an expert driver, this ain't NASCAR or whatever.
And first
I'm
of all,
not
she has
saying
my like dream car, by the way. And you out here in these streets reckless.
this was no, 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 no. This was when I was younger, and this was in Florida. I got pulled over once. This cop was a complete asshole. Which, oh my god, police in Central Florida being asshole. We never heard of that. So he was an asshole, and he gave me 3 tickets at once because I was driving my cousin's car. My cousin's in the passenger seat, and the car smelled like weed. And he said, "Can you tell me why the car smells like weed?" And I said, "No, it's not my car, and I don't smoke." He's like, "So we could check if you're high right now?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't smoke. Like, yeah, you could. Do you have a drug test on you, sir?" Like, what, like, okay.
I'm
And
not
so,
afraid
long
to
story
do this.
short, yeah, like, how are you gonna prove this? I don't know why it smells like weed. Do what you got to do. And meanwhile, my cousin is next to me saying, "Can I answer that question for her?" You know, and he's like, "No, I'm asking her," but she's like, "It's my car," and he was like, "So what?" So, long story short, I had like an attitude, and I was mouthy. I was living my white woman fantasy, and he, was like, "Okay," so he gave me a ticket for obstruction of justice because I was being a dick. He gave me one for, he said I was swerving in and out the lane, which I'll give him that, because he said he pulled me because I was swerving, which my cousin had a like huge Suburban and I had a Ford Focus. So I could have been swerving. That's factual, maybe. Okay. And then he gave me another one for something else. But either way, these tickets totaled like $800 after that night. So I was trying to be grown and I didn't want to tell my mom. And I wanted to handle it myself. I didn't want to run to my mom and grandma for help. So I was okay, I'm gonna handle it. And I was doing research and they said you can get an extension and then you just pay them off. What they don't tell you is when you get an extension, they automatically assess the points to your license. There's
Oh,
no traffic school. There's no working it off. So my license was like 1 point from suspension after that one interaction. And then, whatever, I got put up for speeding because I was a speed demon. And so at that point, because again, I still don't know the point thing, I get another extension, boom, suspended license. So at that point, I was still driving because I had to go to work. Like, I was in culinary school. I went to school from 6 to 10, and then I worked every day from like 12 to like 9 or 12 to 10, somewhere in there. And I did that every day, most days, like 5 days a week or whatever. And that was my school schedule. So I had to go to school, I had to go to work. So I was still driving. So every time I got pulled over, because again, they scan your tag and it's like, "Girl, your license suspended." And I'll be like, "I didn't know that." So then they would give me a ticket for driving with a suspended license with knowledge. And at this point, I have, so yeah, because there's one with knowledge. No, I'm sorry, without knowledge. And without knowledge is like a slap on the wrist. With knowledge is like a misdemeanor. So they gave me one for with whatever. Long story short, once your license gets suspended and you have enough tickets and enough points there, like, bitch, you a habitual traffic offender. So in order to get my license cleared up, I had to go to the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 12-hour driving class. I had to complete community service. My grandma ended up having to get me like some traffic lawyer, which cost her like $900. And she got me a traffic lawyer who like basically listed out the steps for me and everything I needed to pay and set up payment plans for me. So, now almost, almost 10 years. Yeah, because I was like 20, 21. So like almost 10 years later, I'm fine. My license is fine. I've learned my lesson. I can pay my own tickets now. But yeah, habitual traffic offender.
all I was trying to do was crack jokes. And then I was like, shit, this is so
No,
crazy.
that's some real shit. I've never had a DUI because I would never, drinking and driving, especially once you get older, is not cool. I will say, I am from a very small place, very, very small. So when you're younger, drinking and driving is more so like, I do not recommend this. It was the 90s. It was the
It was the
2000s.
90s?
It
You
was
was
the
drinking in
2000s.
the 90s.
Actually, I had my first drink in the 90s, yes. I had a
I
beer.
know.
You've never heard people give kids beer and they give you like a sip. Not they don't hand
The people I know that got beer as a child grew up to be addicts.
No, they give you a sip. They don't hand you a Corona. They give you a sip. And they're like, "Oh, it kills the worms." I don't know what the worms are, but that's what they used to say.
What? Wait, what the fuck is going on? What? Okay.
I'm from the country. They give you a sip. They say to kill the worms.
Okay,
I can't believe no one here has ever heard that. It's so common.
Okay. All right. I'm confused. Okay, I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna ask you a question. Um, when did you? Okay, I want to go back to the chef because we was there, and then I had to throw a jab.
Yeah,
And
you said I had a DUI and I had to defend myself.
okay, when did you realize that you wanted to be a chef? Because, like I said, you said you worked in a restaurant. You said I should not call you a Michelin chef. Can I call you a JD Power and Associates private chef?
I don't know what that
When did
means.
you know that you wanted to be like a personal chef? Like I said,
Um,
we think of people
I,
wanting to work in restaurants and
mhm.
things like that. So you were like, it's a no for me. So what age were you, and what led you to LA to pursue that dream?
I had no idea what a private chef was until I was well into my restaurant journey. I did want my own restaurant, but I was again aware the overhead is insane. So I wanted a food truck. And that I was like studying up on it, and I was reading up on them and just trying to figure out like how I was gonna, get the funding for it and writing out a business plan and doing, like really preparing myself for this food truck journey. And then I had that was when I lived in Orlando and I was still in culinary school. That was my goal to get a food truck. So I'm, working through the industry, and like most people in the industry, I have no money because they don't pay us shit. So I'm working through the industry as a line cook. You okay, friend?
What a day! What a day!
But I'm working through the industry as a line cook, and then I like most people in my industry, I burnt myself out. I was working
Mm-hmm.
crazy hours. I'm on salary, which is a scam. And
Woo!
right, especially in a restaurant.
Tell them.
Salary,
If it's no overtime, I just want you to say that loud and clear one
yeah.
more time. What is a scam?
Especially in Florida, because in California, once you hit 40 hours or once you hit more than 8 hours in a day, you start accruing overtime. In Florida, you have to hit 40 hours to get overtime. Meaning, if your boss works the shit out of you 12 hours a day for 3 days and you're at 36 hours, the next day they will send you home early so they don't have to give you overtime, but they work the
Mhm.
shit out of you. Right.
Yep.
You all hype thinking you about to get some extra money, and they're like, oh, no, God, no. So,
Yep.
no, why would we give you that? So, which is a whole other conversation about labor percentages and the unrealistic expectations. But long story short, I burn out. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. One of the guys who worked in the commissary that shared the space with the catering part of the company I was managing asked me to prepare meals for his clients, and he was a personal trainer. And he asked me to prepare meals for his clients because I would give him a lot of tips because, quite frankly, he just ain't know what the hell he was doing. So I would give him a lot of tips, and I started doing that, and I was like, you know what? This is enough to shoestring together some kind of living for myself. So I quit. Like I just quit. I was like, I can't take it anymore. I quit. Um, so yeah, I started doing that, and then I started looking for other trainers, and I'm hitting them up on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, I do meal prep for this trainer. Are you interested in my services? And at one point, I had gotten like 5 or 6 trainers to like let me make meals for them. So I'm like whipping out the house, like making these meals, counting out people's like micros, macros, all that, getting these nutritional facts. And I'm going back through my culinary school books because I haven't thought about nutrition in I don't know how long. So I was doing all of that. And one day I was in a group for private chefs. And I think this point in my life is when I started to understand that you could cook for like one person and it could be like a thing. And I was like, okay, so I'm in a group with these private chefs and I'm like listening to their stories. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I get a Facebook message from one of them and she goes, hey, would you like to cook for Lil Wayne tonight? And I was like, yeah, yeah. I don't give a shit what else I had going on. Yes. And it didn't work out that time. She was like, his assistant was like, who gave you this number? what are you talking about? And I felt really bad because I was trying to be professional. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I never would have contacted you if I got the number under false pretenses, but this is what I was told. And they were like, yeah, no, we don't need you. And then, bummed out, but I go back to what I was doing. And like 10 days later, she calls me back and says, hey, are you still available to try out? Because we need somebody. So I said yes. I went and I cooked. I made a well done steak and some potato chips, and he loved it. And I just went back the next day. Well, loved it is a stretch.
There
He
was
loved
so
it.
much shade in that statement, by the way.
And he liked it. He liked it. And then I went back the next day and back the next day, and a year and some change passed, and I was Lil Wayne's private chef. And all of a sudden I went from like literally like breaking the bank trying to pay my half of the most basic of bills to being on a private jet with a client and going to Australia and
That's so
flying,
dope.
internationally. And now I'm like the private chef two-way celebrity. And now I have like all these friends in the industry, and like you meet other celebrity chefs, and like, yeah, it completely changed my life.
That's amazing. Because like literally we think about the risk that you even took. We talk about career and we always say like, what's on the other side, it could be something great, or you could just rest in that fear and thinking about the shoulda, woulda, couldas of everything. And you was like, fuck this. I want to work in this restaurant. I'm doing this. Somebody has looped me into this. I'm reaching out to people. I'm making these connections. I get this phone call. They tell me no. I'm a little bummed. And then 10 days later, like, hey, what's up? And you could have been like, even just based on that one interaction alone, like, I'm kind of good. But you was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, let's see what happens. And it's like completely changed your life. So
It did. It
yeah.
did. Wayne will always have a special place in my heart for that reason. Because it did. It changed my life.
That's so fucking dope. Like I tell people like coming to LA, I said, and I tell them consistently, and you probably could relate, we probably have had some of the craziest interactions and experiences that you would probably only hear about in like the movies. And if you told somebody from where you're from, like what happened, they would tell you you were lying.
Yeah.
Like
no one believes the stuff that you say.
I don't even tell people because I was like, I just don't want to. Some people's minds are too fickle to even grasp some of the interactions.
Yeah.
And so I just allow people to formulate like their own thoughts. And I don't have the capacity to even correct you, because what is that gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
so after you are cooking with Wayne, kind of like take us what's next. What happens kind of after that?
So in that same spirit of, I guess, jumping without a parachute, I decided I just wanted a bigger pond. Like I wanted more clients. I wanted, Prosecco burp. Excuse me. I wanted more clients, and
I'm not editing it out.
That's fine. My burps are cute. They don't really make a noise. I don't, or whatever. But I wanted more clients, and I wanted clients who really liked vegetables. And I wanted, less. I was doing a lot of rappers and athletes, which is fine. Like, no career is one size fits all. That's not what I'm saying. I just wanted more influx in different types of diets and different types of people. And I was really interested in what LA had to offer, because I had been here for LA Food and Wine 4 years prior to my working with Wayne. 2 years prior to my working with Wayne.
Okay.
And I had only been here for 2 days, and it just felt so good being here. And I had made a lot of connections with restaurant chefs, and it was like, if I got to go back to the line, then I'm going to just go back to the line. But like, I want to move to LA. So I left Miami, packed up myself and my partner, and moved us out here to LA, because this is where I wanted to be. And I've been here ever since.
At least you made it out here with your partner. I knew I was breaking up with my partner.
I mean, I did. I am no longer with that same individual,
I mean,
but
I
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
It's different.
But yeah,
It's different when you are so sure of yourself and your partner might not be so sure of themselves. It's a whole different ballpark. And I knew coming out. I have a episode, by the way, to listeners that's tuning in, and I know you're going to share this. I have an episode where, since we are now kind of like 12 years removed from the situation, I
oh, he
interviewed.
did it.
He comes on and we do an episode together, and it's phenomenal. And we also actually do a bonus episode. So I'm building out my Patreon. So when I drop the Patreon, I just want so much footage and content. Yo, that's one of the. I have a bonus episode with him.
Oh, I bet it's so good. I can't wait. I will be signing
I'm
up for
juicy
Patreon.
because I'm a little messy at times, but in a good way. Like not in a like, okay, you might need to fight or shoot somebody or anything like that. Nothing like that. But I want the information. Like I need. It's not on Wendy Williams being messy, but it's just like, nah, you fucking playing with me. So let me bait you a little quick, and so I can get the information. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
Huh?
I said I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, for real. Yeah, I would love to hear that conversation. That's dope.
I got you. I got you, boo. Okay, so you moved to LA. You're with your partner at the time, and you hit the ground running. So do you go back to the line? What happens? Like, what we doing?
So I do end up going back to the line. I come out
Okay.
here to build clients, and I'm new. And LA is more about who you know than what you know. And I know nobody. And I am, shaking down my private shelf contacts back, from Instagram and stuff like, hey, y'all got anybody? Can y'all help me out? And they're like, no. So I'm like, all right, well, I did what I did before I discovered private chef, and I went back to doing temp work. And temp, everyone knows temp work, right? And they drop you in like all these different spaces. And because of my experience, I was getting dropped in like any restaurant out of nowhere. I did not know the menu. They put me on the line and be like, can you do this? Cool, bang out service. And because I had spent so many years working at restaurants, I mean, my family owned a restaurant. I started working in restaurants when I was like 8, 9 years old. So like,
Okay.
if the
So
station
it's
is
in
well
your blood. It's in your blood to be a chef, like to
yeah,
cook.
if it was well laid out and I knew what I had to do for my station, give me like an hour or two before service to prep. And as long as I know what I got to pull out, then we're good. So I went back to doing that, and I don't have a car. So I'm like trying to find gigs within a 5 mile radius of my house because I was footing it. Either that or I was trying to I would walk up to 5 miles from the subway station. Like, because that's a number of miles I could walk in like a reasonable amount of time. Like I can
Mhm.
get there an hour and a half if it's 5 miles or whatever. So yeah, I went from, riding in private jets and having drivers and being out of the country and, on Instagrams with some of the most famous people in the world to literally walking 5 miles to work. But that's the journey. You know what I'm saying? And I was
Yeah.
like, this is what I want this life in this city for myself. And my old life was cool, but I outgrew it. So
Yeah.
this is who I am now, and this is what I want to do. And that's how I got started. I started doing temp work, and one person at a time. I built up my clientele base. And now, like currently, I'm the private chef for Jackie Aina, Dennis Asamoah, Sterling K. Brown, and Ryan Michelle Bath, and Noel Reed. Those are like my main clients.
Okay. So Sterling K. Brown is from St. Louis. You have to figure out.
Is he?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna send you a clip. Sterling K. Brown is from St. Louis. You have to figure out. I think this will be a pleasant surprise for him if you make him some crab ragoon.
Well, I have to
It's
figure out how y'all make it because that's a different thing.
you say what?
I need to know how y'all make it just in case it's a
Yeah, no,
different.
I'm gonna find the recipe and I'll send it to you. But that would be a pleasant surprise, and you can say whatever. My friend told me you were from St. Louis. This is something that is a delicacy. It's that it is the Emo's pizza that is also a delicacy. Our Chinese food is also
Oh yeah, that thing with eggs, right? It's like an egg thing y'all get. It's like from the Chinese food place. I think it's
Are you talking
egg.
about like a St. Paul?
Oh, is
Okay,
that what it's called?
I
That.
think
Yeah.
it's like a St. Paul. I'm gonna say something. St. Louis gonna kick my ass. I ain't never had a St. Paul in my life.
I don't know who that is.
And I know who St. Peter is. I don't know who St. Paul is, but I ain't never had one. It's different ways that you can make a sandwich, but I feel like it does have an egg on it. But like even just our fried rice alone, somebody made a tweet saying that St. Louis has the best Chinese food in the world, better than China. And honestly, I've I've never been to China, so I can't.
Black
I
people
can't.
ain't shit. Black
I
people ain't
can't.
shit. Y'all go steal Chinese food.
Bitch, come to St. Louis. I can't. Okay, we should plan out with like Tahir and Farron, and I feel like this will be something dope where we can kind of go to St. Louis, try the different staples. There are things that we love. I think it would be so much fucking fun, and we all go at the same time. We get like a film crew, and we bang that shit out. Hell, I could be the film crew. I know how to record. I know to keep my hands steady. I know how to edit. So it's game changing. It's game changing. And you say what?
I don't want to be shot at.
We stay off the grid.
Okay.
I
I'm
girls
from
when I
Florida. It wouldn't be the first time. I just don't want
no
it to
no no
happen.
no 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 no. Trust me. I've had enough of being shot at and caught up in hostile situations
Yep.
for the
Me
rest of
too.
my life. I don't have to do that shit no more.
Okay.
But I will say I do have an Emo's pizza in my freezer, and I'm tempted to give it to you to give to Starla and Michelle. But I'm greedy. So
Exposed
now,
pizza.
Emo's. Ask him about Emo's pizza, the square beyond compare. Baby.
A slogan.
It's amazing. It's amazing. St. Louis, see, I think people when we think about mid like food in general, like I don't think LA has that many great restaurants. I think we spend a lot of money for the atmosphere, for the ambiance.
Yeah. For the
And
LA of it all.
yeah, like so when you find a spot, it's like you hold it near and dear to your heart. Like I love Gyukaku. Gyukaku is by far like the greatest Japanese restaurant, barbecue restaurant. I like it more than Korean barbecue. Have you been?
I have no idea what you're talking about now.
Okay, I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna pop your
And that's how I
Gyukaku
feel about
cherry.
Kazun.
Play on your last name. I'm gonna pop your cherry, Miss Cherry. But so we'll go. It's amazing. But I don't think that LA has great food. And so I love going home and eating really, really, really good. And you made a face. So what's your rebuttal?
I do have a rebuttal for the food thing. I was traumatized about a popular cherry thing because people used to say that to me when I was in high school.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, now I'm traumatized. I've been triggered. I can't go on. I can't go on. Anyway, my rebuttal for that is the food from back home. A lot of times, what I experience cooking for different people, the food you grew up on has like nostalgia and memories attached to it. So when you go, those feelings, when you eat something that you ate, all of those feelings resurface, So you're not really a lot of times judging on the food itself, but it's like the emotions attached to it. This food was, especially growing up, like this, like Paula Patton making her mama's fried chicken. This food is attached to the feeling you had and those memories. That doesn't make it superior. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it does not make it a superior product, like Paula Patton's mama's fried chicken. So but you get used to the way it tastes and you like it. And
Right.
then for you, that has like set the bar for like what that food is. So that was my one rebuttal, which doesn't make it bad. I think everyone has that.
Right.
But
No,
I
and
feel like
that's a valid
yeah, I feel like
explanation.
people who say LA doesn't have good food are kind of alluding towards that because the food in LA is, I mean, more generalized than food from almost anywhere I've ever had. Like in Miami, these Cubans, they making that Cuban food the way they grew up making it, the way it's supposed to taste. And I love Cuban food. It's fire. But
Oh yeah, I've
here,
been to Cuba. I had amazing food in Cuba.
Yeah, Cuban food,
Yeah.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
Haitian food is life changing, but they make it to their specifications. They don't care that you're vegan. That famous Jamaican restaurant attitude. I feel like people of color and especially Caribbean people tend to approach their food with that same attitude because, like, this is it and this is what it is. Whereas in LA, I feel like there's so much like, here's the vegan option, here's the vegetarian option, here's low salt, and then you got to move towards California fresh and you want to be healthy and it's farm to table and these are the healthiest ingredients, which is great. But I feel like LA's restaurants have a tendency to lean so much into being a place where you could take your 10 coworkers with they 10 different diets and they gluten allergies and all this shit, and everyone can have a 10-course meal and be happy, and it just ain't gonna be there. I feel like LA food, and there's people from everywhere coming here all the time. So I feel like they generalize it and they like filter it down. Or actually, no, I take that back. They generalize it and they open it up so much for so many people that it takes away from the food experience a little bit. It's like when you go to like an Applebee's, that food ain't meant to be delicious. That food is meant to be the same.
Tell that to my little sister. So I hear you and I understand that. I feel like from going to places like Mastro's, open, Ocean Prime, and then to even like, we think about like the restaurant business in like certain tiers. So it's like the fast food, and then you get into fine dining. And I feel like my experience, and I like to kind of rate everything as a whole. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes like the experiences that I've even had also plays a part into that a little bit. And then sometimes you try to even remove that. And, and I'm like, okay, I've had shitty service, but the food was like amazing,
Yeah.
Where it's like, I feel like a lot of times it's just always something like sometimes just a little off. But you'll go somewhere and the drinks, LA, they got the drink down packed. Like going to
well, they cost $25. They should.
I mean, you would hope. But going to what's the not Yamashiro's? What's the other guy? Nobu. I did not enjoy my meal like that, but my drinks were immaculate. So I was like, okay, keep it going. Like, keep them coming. And so the next thing you know, you're like, shit, this bill $500. Like, it's not a big deal, but like, you know what I mean? So I think
same with crustaceans.
Yeah.
The food was fire.
Drink where?
Crustaceans.
Oh yeah, crustacean is really good. And I can, and my palate is very limited at crustacean because I have a shellfish allergy. But those garlic noodles, and I think I had like beef stew or something that was pretty legit. But then I go to catch, and I'm like, okay, drinks, great, food,
Yeah.
So I think it just really depends. So if you know something that or been to places that I don't know, I would love to get those recommendations. I'm always open and willing to like try new places as well because I'm a big foodie. Like I love and I'm always embarrassed if I take somebody somewhere and I have this amazing, immaculate, like overall 5 out of 5 experience, and I take them and it's like 3.
That happened to me today. That happened to me today. And it wasn't even somebody I knew. It was a stranger, but we go to this. I live in downtown, so I live close to Grand Central Market. And so we walked down there and we went to Horse Thief Barbecue. It's fire, like so tender. It's really, really good. And that's saying something. Horse Thief.
Oh, okay. I thought you said horse beef barbecue, and I was like,
horse thief. Like they stealing folks' horses.
Okay.
I hope that's not actually what it means, but moving on. So we got a horse thief, and it's really good. Prosecco burp. It's really good, but today, for whatever reason, the brisket was like on the dry side, and it's never happened before. And when we sat down, this old black dude walked up, and you know how we are. He was like, "Hey, sister." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "The barbecue good?" I was like, "Yeah, the barbecue is busting." He was like, "Okay, cool, appreciate it." He get it, and then my boyfriend starts eating his brisket. And he go, "Ooh, the brisket is so dry today." And I looked and I was like, "No." Because this man is like 2 tables over from us. And I'm like, "Oh no." I told another black that the barbecue was good. And now he finna be like,
Black people
"You
don't
don't
play
know
about
what
that
she's talking
barbecue.
about. This brisket dry as hell." And I felt so bad. But then he walked over and said he enjoyed it. So I was like, "Oof."
Girl, men. Every man taste buds ain't like Anthony Bourdain. So they not picking apart. They gonna eat it. And but I now that's something that they can't do out here. Barbecue, coming from a barbecue town, city,
Same.
barbecue
The South,
they
barbecue is like a religion for us. It's a big
yeah,
deal.
the
But horse
barbecue
thief is good. Horse thief is good. Now I ain't gonna lie, it ain't none that I never seen back there. So everything on the menu ain't hidden, but that meat, the meat is where it needs to be. Now the barbecue sauce, I'm a Southern girl. I personally like a mustard based sauce. I lean more to the
okay,
Carolina
okay.
Gold. I lean more towards the Carolina Gold side of things. That's just me. I like a little tang, but it is really good. The sides need work. The baked beans, I've never even tried the mac and cheese because, as we all know, if you've ever seen my Instagram, mac and cheese is like one of my specialties. So I'm just like, I'm very picky.
Where we're from, barbecue is like you said, it's a religion, it's an art, it's a science. And
Yeah.
so the barbecue is so good, you don't have to add sauce to it. You can eat
Yeah,
it.
I love a
It's
good
like,
dry
oh, that's
rub.
just an extra kick. But out here, I feel like a lot of restaurants rely heavy on the sauce. And I'm like, nah, if your shit is good, I should be able to eat it without the
Without
sauce.
the sauce. Yeah, but
And
see,
a
a
lot
lot
of
of people
places,
are using seasoning, and I tell you, who in the
yeah,
yeah.
we know. I'm aware.
But meat is good. The meat is good. It is good. It's tender. I've eaten it. I've eaten the brisket without barbecue sauce, and it was fine. I had ribs
Yeah.
today, and I was getting some sauce. Okay, I might still have some under my nails, and I washed my hands like 5 times, but I was getting some sauce.
No, but so that's I feel that it's so important to have, like we said, like we come from places where they age it and they do all these things where it's so tender and it falls off the bone and the seasons so well. And so I was really confused when I moved out here. And I'm like, what's happening? I don't know what this is. This ain't barbecue. Um, and like you said, the sides
Mm,
are fall
mm.
flat. I had some baked beans the other day that was supposed to be barbecue. And I'm gonna be honest, everything was missing seasoning. From the baked beans, I was like, man, this kind of tastes like pork and beans. And one of the girls was like, this ain't even pork and beans. The salad needed something extra. And I'm like,
Ooh,
what
that
is
salad I had today at Horse Thief was good. We always get salads. They only got two. I love the wedge salad because, again, I'm a Southern girl. He always gets the kale salad. Girl, nah, them salads is busting.
and I feel like there's really no wrong way to do a salad.
No,
But
there's so many wrong ways to do a salad. Are you kidding?
I've
I've
never,
had
I'm
all
gonna be
good
honest. I've never really had a bad salad in my life, even in the salad kit that Target has for the Caesar salad.
Well, you don't be
I,
looking at that lettuce then, because them salad kits be old as hell, and that lettuce be brown.
who lettuce be brown?
Yeah, I dig through so many salad kits when I'm at the store just trying to get my Caesar salad on, because I could live on a Caesar salad. I could literally make one big
Yeah,
bowl and eat that the entire
no,
week. You know what I mean? But
you
like
need to come to my
the
side of
salad
town,
kits,
baby.
the lettuce just don't be lettucing.
You gotta come to my side of town, sister. I'll bring you a
Ain't
salad
nobody
kit.
coming all the way over there.
You come over here when we meet. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Lord, I'm drunk. Uh,
But I don't really buy the kits anyway because I like very specific parts for my Caesar salad, so it's fine.
okay. No,
Yeah, like I like
it makes sense.
kale. I like a good kale Caesar. I make my own croutons because I constantly have an overflow of bread ends. So I just have a bunch of crouton stuff in my house. So I just make my own croutons. I constantly have cheese because I'm a person with sense. And I really like the Giardini Caesar salad, and I just add some more anchovies to it. Oh, it's so good.
Great. Gross. Mm.
Caesar salad has anchovies,
I
girl.
know, but I don't want to taste it.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't want to taste the anchovies.
Yes, you
I
do. It's
tasted
what
it
makes
and I
it
was like, "Ooh, this
good.
is not right. It's not
It's what
right.
makes it
Not okay.
good.
It's not right and it's not okay."
Yes, it is. It's like that umami, it's like salty, but it hits
Mm-mm.
all spots.
Umami is different. That's different.
No, your mommy is different, girl. Umami is what's
That's what I said. I said umami.
I know you said umami, and I'm
You
disagreeing with you because it's
you
fire.
you listen. You be hating truffles too. Raggedy bitch downstairs. I have a
Okay, I
neighbor.
didn't even
I feel
hear
like
it.
I complain about honestly, like this is why I gotta start you going into the studio because she constantly stomps, slams her door. I don't have any shared walls. It's 4 units in this building. I live above the leasing office, and the girl downstairs across the hall consistently slams the door, is consistently loud, and I don't never even hear my neighbors.
She's below and on the other side of you, and you can hear her slamming doors.
That's a deal. My screen just shook. That's her slamming her door. One night she slammed the door so much. My sister was in town. I had to go and knock on her door, and it was 11 o'clock at night. And you already know how it is with, and a Black person is at your door. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to put my niece to sleep. She's a baby. And someone keeps going in and out the door and slamming the door, and it's like shaking the building and waking her up. I'm like, can you please just, for the rest of the night, stop? Bitch got cunty. I said, I'm not trying to come at you incorrect. I've been very polite. And you've slammed the door about 20 times. It was one time she had a party and they were so loud and it was like 3:30 in the morning. And it was the weekend. I don't trip. But if I can hear you, you are loud. Because I can't fucking hear anyway. So they were so loud. I opened the door and I was like, shut the fuck up or I'm gonna call the cops. White people don't be wanting to call the cops. Next thing you know, the motherfuckers busting my house and like try to shoot me. No, I don't want to have to call 911 ever.
Or you could be laying in your bed and catch a stray bullet.
Okay. So, yeah, it's annoying. So, but
well, talking about neighbors, not to derail us anymore. But I know
that's her life.
We keep doing all this. So I'm gonna just say it. This old white bitch who live on my floor, and I don't know how long Betty Crocker has been here. Whatever. I don't know how long she fucking been here.
With you.
I don't know how long she's been here, but so many offenses, and she has one more time to say something to me, and I'm done being polite because
what was she saying to you?
So with my friends, y'all know me. I'm myself. I'm very outspoken. I'm also 6'1.5", so half the time I'd be like, "And you're going to do what?" So
yeah, you think Meg Thee Stallion, child. This one right here.
Yeah, I'm 6'1.5", so I'd be like, "And you're going to do what?" But
I can't wait to go out with you, and I have on heels, and you have on heels, and I don't feel like a giant.
We will do that soon. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, so actually, I really want to go to the horrible decision. So you can cut that out. We'll talk about this after.
We'll talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to because I wanted to go.
You do?
I do. But we'll talk offline.
Right?
Huh? Yeah, I can cut it out.
Okay, because it's like $75. So I was trying to figure out who I was gonna ask because it's kind of high.
We'll talk because I know I'm not gonna be. We'll talk offline, and I'll tell you offline why I can't go.
Oh crap! Okay.
It's nothing bad. It's nothing bad at all.
Oh, okay. All right.
You got this crazy neighbor.
Yeah, I was trying to remember where to start it so you could cut it like smoothly.
Yeah, no. Okay, so you got this crazy neighbor.
So my neighbor, I first moved in, mind you, y'all. I am 31. This is my first time living fully on my own as a grown ass woman. But let's not get it twisted. LA is expensive, okay? like she said, most houses are very small. My apartment happens to be 1,100 square feet. Thank you very much. I don't live in a great neighborhood. It's fine. I live in downtown. It's fine. So
Be on the ground.
that's why we have parking and valet, so I don't have to leave my building like with my physical body if the sun's not up. So I don't be going out there at night unless we in a group like we did, right? So she goes, "Oh, I have a patio and you can see my patio from the hallway, and her door is like on the way to the elevator. She can see my patio from her front door." She goes, "Oh, when are you gonna fix up your patio?" And I said, mind you, I had been here like 2-3 weeks, and I was like, "I don't know. Everything's back ordered, so I'm still trying to fix up my house." And she goes, "Oh, okay, because the one next to yours is all finished and it looks all done." And I was like, "Did they move in 3 weeks ago?" She goes, "No, no, 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 no. I just think it looks really nice, and
No,
I'm
bitch,
just
I don't
really."
know.
And she goes, "I just really care about how the floor looks."
Bitch.
I'm sorry, you pay rent inside your dwelling, Sophia Petrillo. What the hell does my patio have to do with this? You don't own the 6th
Don't
floor.
do something like that.
You don't own the 6th floor. So I let it go, and I was really nice. I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking into some stuff. I'm gonna figure it out soon." She said, "Okay." So the people next to me with the other patio move out. "Hey, did you know your neighbors are moving out?" "No." "Oh, well, they're probably gonna get rid of some of their patio stuff, so they might sell it to you. They're real nice. You could just knock on the door."
Why the fuck do you care what's going on in my apartment?
And I said, and I just got on the elevator and left. Cool. Last week, so bitch walks up to me and she goes, and not like you old, like a real old bitch. And
You
she
know
goes,
I'm gonna fuck you up next time, okay? I'm
no one
tired.
believes, no one believes that. So of course you're tired at your big age. So I'm walking out and she goes, "Hey, have you ever spoken to the woman who lives in whatever apartment?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, like once or twice. Why?" And she goes, "Oh, I say hello and I speak, and she never says anything to me, not a word." And I was like, "Okay." Because this old bitch makes pillows, which she mentioned when I told her I needed to get my house together. She's like, "Oh, I make pillows and I make them with their, what do you call it? They're like cow print." She's like, "I typically do like cow print pillows and stuff. So let me know if you want some pillows." And I did. I was like, "Okay, first of all, my house is black mid-century modern. Okay. Nobody wants your cow print pillows, sis. Black, black, mid-century. Okay. We don't want your cow print pillows, bitch." So I was like, "No, thank you." But anyway, she's in the little opening where the elevators are, just with fabric laid out. She's making them in the little opening because I guess she ain't got enough room in her small ass apartment, which is why she keep worrying about what's going on over here. So I was like, "Yeah, no, I've never spoken to her, whatever, whatever." And she was like, "Oh, I figured maybe she would have spoken to you," because she walks towards me and goes, "Because you're both black." I kid you not. I kid you not. I kid you not. And I walked to my apartment and she starts walking towards me because this is my apartment. These are the elevators. She's in this little area. So she starts walking towards me. And when she said the black thing, girl, I ran into my apartment. I was like, I was like, no. And I just walked away. So I don't know how old she is, but she's knocking on death's door now. God forgive me, but she is. Okay. The bitch is elderly. I feel like she should be in a home or have an attendant or something. But fuck all that. The point is, she has one more time. One
Because
more thing.
I'm like, you engaged
I
her
have
too
been
much
nice.
space. You
Listen,
didn't allow her to take too much space, Ayo. I don't do that shit. With nobody. Because
mind
as
you,
you
I was
know
on my
me, you know
patio.
me very well. You know my history. I don't allow
I
people to take
was,
No, they
I was
don't
on my
know.
patio having a Zoom call after I had fixed it up finally. And she does this.
Bitch.
So we're at like 5 offenses at this point, correct?
Because you
So
allowed her, she was like, she allows me to take up space. That's
yeah,
why.
yeah. But okay, listen, I am my grandma's baby. Like I love
So am
other.
I.
Listen, Janie Bell Redding. It's my heart. It's my soul. You know what I'm saying? She ain't here no more, but that was my heart. That was my soul. Amen. I give older people a lot of grace. I
I
do.
don't give you no grace. They don't give me no fucking grace.
We know, but I give old people a lot of grace.
One day I will share that story with them.
But she is graced out. She's graced out. So with this same smile, the next time she says something to me, I'm gonna cut Sophia Petrillo the fuck out.
Stop! You're not gonna keep banging on Sophia, because Sophia it wasn't like that. Sophia was a real bitch. Sophia
I
was
don't
gonna
know. Sophia had a couple moments when Michael brought home that black girl where I was like, all right now, watch that shit, Granny.
girl. That's so funny. That's so fucking funny. It's so weird because that's never. Fortunately, since living here, I've never had that like experience. Now I had a neighbor when I lived in my old apartment in K Town. We had a shared wall, and she would sing some mornings very early, and it would always be I'm either off or working that late shift. And one day I had had enough, and I had went to that door, and I was bamming on that door because she
Better let
also,
that lady unleash her caged bird.
bitch, she was singing "Rolling in the Deep." I don't know what key that was, but it wasn't the right one, and slamming drawers, and it was hitting the wall, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like exhausted, and you know how that feels, and you just want to sleep in. Not to mention, it's a neighbor in another building that would like sneeze out the window, and it would be oddly very loud, or he was playing the saxophone. Girl. And I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm going to the door. So I went to that door, and I was like, knocking, 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 nothing. And I'm like, bitch, I know you home because you just slammed the drawer. You ain't, and I ain't hear you slam your door closed. So I know you in there. So I'm bam, 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 nothing. I'm gonna stay here until you open the door. And she opened that door. Oh my God. Hi, I'm your neighbor. While we all like to enjoy Adele on different occasions, rolling in the deep is not for me this morning, as well as you slamming those drawers into the wall, which you do quite often. I have had enough, and all I'm asking is please, can you be considerate to your other neighbors? We never had a problem after that. Maybe
I
she
love
moved out. I don't really fucking know. I don't really give a fuck. But I know singing was not her strong suit.
That woman could be on Broadway right now.
Girl.
Mama says she knows how Cage Bird sings, honey. Let her be.
Girl, off Broadway might have been her calling, but she wasn't even giving in Pantages, whatever the fuck it's called out here.
Fantasia.
Pantages, the theater. Is it okay, never mind. Never
Is that
mind.
the song by the Isley Brothers and the Rapists?
Pantages is on Hollywood Boulevard. It is a theater for real. Oh. Okay, ma'am. I can't. We have been here for about an hour. I just adore you so much.
I can't wait to talk when this is over.
Yeah, I just want you to understand that. Io and I met through my amazing friend Baron that you guys
my amazing friend
are.
Okay, fine.
We share.
My twin flame, Farron.
Sure. I'm not even gonna go to war with you today because I don't have it because I'm drunk.
You ain't got the energy, and I'm
no, okay. I don't. And I was like, fuck, like low key, I'm really kind of fucked up, but it's cool.
This is great because you cussed me out about being available for this podcast last night.
I was like, are you gonna be late? Are you gonna show up?
I was late, but I was here.
I mean, it technically you were not late because I got home late from work. So I told you that I was like, hey, I just need a second. I'm setting up now. You see, I don't even have makeup on. Like, it's fresh face. Like, and I feel
You
like
look
I'm
good.
losing my tan. I'm like, oh, the yellow coming back. I gotta go out in the sun. As I go to Paris next week.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
yeah,
they're not for sun.
they don't really have a lot of sun. They have sun, but they don't be out long. I feel like because of how it's constructed. Um, but tell the people where they can find you and how they can, acquire your services. Only for the wealthy.
You don't have to be wealthy.
Because I'm
Affordable is relative, but I think I'm for the amount of work I do. I'm affordable. I should
I
put it
just
that way.
want you to cook me my I'll talk to you offline. I might have something for. Ooh, I have an
Okay, we'll talk
idea.
about this later. Can I tell
No,
the
no,
people
no,
the
no,
thing?
y'all. I would love to do an episode. Maybe I come over and we do a whiskey sour cooking session, and you and I
I
talk and
can
we
do it like
chat
a
about
whiskey
different hot
pouring.
topics and things
Mhm.
together, and it'll be really fun for the listeners and the viewers to see.
Yeah, and my kitchen is so cute. We can totally do
Yeah,
that.
it is. I can tell, and you don't be closing your cabinet doors behind you, but that's another thing.
No, I do a lot of stuff that bothers you because I also flush my tampons, but that's neither here nor there. So,
So you okay? Let's stay here before you clock out real quick.
can I just tell the people where they find me before
No,
you
you
clock me out?
cannot. So you are another one. I had multiple people hit me up after the reel that I posted regarding not. You're why I got that notice on my fucking door saying not to flush or fucking put them down the drain. Do you know that tampons and pads absorb water, liquids, fluids? They expand. You can't do that shit, my nigga. I don't care how new the plumbing is. And they're gonna hit you with
My
that bill.
Instagram is at Chef Io Cherry. Please follow me in my apparently problematic habits. Um, I'm really into cleanliness. There's only so much fondling with the tampon I'm going to do. So pull and drop feels like a good option for me. Which might be selfish. And I'm sorry to the environment. I use paper straws when I don't have another choice, and I care about turtles. Okay. So I'll be better at Chef Ayache on Instagram. If you would like to book me, all the booking information is there. I do not do large events. Please do not ask me to do anything over like 30 people. Because I've done a few of these, and then people are like, I would love for you to cater my wedding. It's 100 of us. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm not interested, baby. Now, okay, so here's the funny thing before we leave. If that number was right, would you do it?
To be honest, could I? Because I used to cater, So like, could
Yeah.
I? Yes. But I'm also interested in being honest with clients and people. And I have had people be like, we will do whatever it takes, but we want you, which is honestly one of the most flattering things someone can say to you as a chef. But to be honest, that means like I need a rental kitchen because we need
Yeah.
refrigeration to hold all this stuff. I need a staff
Yeah.
for an event like that for 100 people. I need a
Yeah.
staff to prep. I need a day of staff. I need this rental space for like 3 to 4 days prior. Shit, not even like a week prior. Like, I need time to be able to make sure this is right and tight. And if we are doing, and I think that's the other thing people don't understand. Like, if I'm doing course service, I need one server per 5 to 6 people. So
Yeah.
if there are 100 of y'all, I need 20 servers minimum
Yeah.
to get it to you fast and right. For real, because I've worked events during temp work where we don't have enough people. So you like hustling trying to get this food out, and that's fine, but your food will not be hot if I cannot get it out the second my plate is done being plated. I need it to go.
Yeah.
And if I don't have enough staff, then you have to accept that your food gonna be lukewarm. And you know
No,
how black
that's
people
it.
you like put it in the microwave and all that shit. No one has time.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
No one has time.
Nobody wants that. All right. Well, I'm so glad that I got to talk to you one on one. I feel like seeing you in person, like we get that episode off, it'll be so much fun because we'll get just so much more like intimate and like ration. I don't know, man, because you know what I'm saying. It's
I
okay.
ain't understand none of that, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
Are you finished? Are you done? The podcast is over. Goodbye, y'all.
Oh my God, whatever, y'all. Okay, so be sure to subscribe, like, and share the podcast. And shout out to my listener in Paris. A girl hit me up today and was like, hey, hold on, I got her name. Is it Malia? Because it's the accent is over the E. Malia? That's a Malia.
Malia? That's a guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Longmire. She said, watching you from Paris, France. I love your video. Hey, girl.
Aww,
Hey,
yes,
don't want my heart.
You gotta be international, friend.
Okay, so I just want to say, everybody, I don't have a huge viewership yet because it's coming. And, I've been very, Kev always says that, like, hey, a lot of people don't make it past 10 episodes. A lot of people don't make it to 100 episodes. And it'll be something really random that takes off and everything changes overnight for you. And I'm a firm believer in that. And it's been so many people that, it's been so many people that I've run into that has stopped me and said, oh my God, like I listened to your podcast and I'm like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. And, last week a girl sent me a DM on Instagram and was just like, I stumbled across your podcast. You are hilarious. Blah, 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 blah. And I really appreciate all of that, like it really warms my heart. And that's why I keep going. And I know I have something great. And so I'm just going to keep perfecting it and pushing it. And we're going to get a whiskey. Yes, bitch. It's going to be one that we're going to be having the feast. And we're going to be like talking our shit over a feast. We might record some bonus content for y'all. But yeah, and I appreciate you showing up for me and coming on. And I appreciate the friendship that we have created outside of everybody else. And I can't wait to like hang out with you one-on-one because we're going to see the read live together. Girl, we stand to read. Everybody, I know y'all listening to the read. But share my shit with your friends too. I want to be on the level of Kid Fury and Crystal. So get add some sponsorships and seeing them at the Kennedy Center, it was just a super inspirational, pivotal moment for me. And I was like, I gotta go harder. I have a space to go harder. So that's where we are. But I love you and I barely know you, and that's hard for me because I'm an Aquarius. And I love you, friend. And we're gonna end this show right here. Bye.